Hello everyone, and welcome back finally to Star Trek Babylon, an Anomaly of the Week game of Star Trek Adventures 2nd Edition using the rules by Modifius Entertainment. My name is E06 the Game Master, and joining me are four lovely individuals who will meet in a second. The only thing I have to say at the top of the session is that my microphone settings have been a little bit all over the place, so if I or anybody else is quiet or inaudible or too loud, please do let us know as soon as possible so we can adjust. But let's go down the line and have everyone introduce themselves, starting with Eschatologist. Who you playing and anything you want to shout out?
Hello, I am the Eschatologist. I am playing Captain Corin Runa, the commanding officer of the Babylon.
All right. Gray Guy, what do you got going on?
Hey folks, Grey Guy playing Lieutenant Commander Minetti, resident ace pilot and anomaly nerd.
Cool. Karaticus, what do you got going on?
I am Karaticus. I will be playing Lieutenant Commander Grok, the Chief Medical Officer of the Babylon, a Klingon raised by Bajorans.
All right. And last but not least, Drew.
You love him. You can't help but love him. I play Rendak, the for engineer slash, thanks to the latest edition, for Rizzler with his new Klingon girlfriend. And I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out our way tonight.
Cool. All right, let's run that intro and then we'll get started. And welcome back. Now, normally I would have the players do an opening log, but since we apparently seem to be on a monthly schedule for this game, I'm just going to set the scene. So, the scene is that the Babylon has just finished dealing with an anomaly. This anomaly will be up to the players to define, but this is one of those rare opportunities where you've already solved the issue, you've already solved, the peril to the Federation, to the Babylon, and to yourselves, and you're either waiting for what comes next or you're dealing with the fallout. And to explore that a little bit, I thought we would go down the line and see what everybody does in the time that, there's not an anomaly threatening life itself. So we're going to start with the captain. So, Captain, what is it you are doing when you are post-anomaly?
I think post-anomaly, Captain Corin is probably compiling his report for Starfleet Command and making sure that whatever damage or unusual effects the anomaly may have had are being remedied aboard the ship so that when we take off into our next crisis, I mean mission, we are in as good a shape as possible.
Okay. Oh, somebody has sent me an interesting idea for an anomaly, one of our viewers. They suggested that perhaps one of the anomalies is something akin to a mini white hole. And what that is basically it's a opposite of a black hole, which consumes everything. It's producing matters. It's like a particle fountain of some kind. So yeah, you've got that contained in Science Lab 3. But yeah. Up next, what does Minetti do when there's not an anomaly that requires, saving the day?
he goes into the holodecks and he basically programs famous crashes from various points in history and tries to test his mettle and see if he would have crashed in that situation.
So what you're saying is you have the Enterprise D on loop.
I mean, that ship does have a lot of crashes, but he goes as far back as like recorded crashes from like World War II and stuff.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Well, what does our good doctor do when there's not an anomaly that requires his attention?
Well, he spends some of his time, he likes to do wood carving, actually. He likes to carve small woodwind instruments out of wood. And he also likes poetry. So, as in, he likes to think he's a poet, but he's not really that good at it.
Now, when you say poetry, are we talking Klingon poetry, Bajoran poetry, human poetry? What kind of poetry are we talking here?
Oh, probably more Bajoran than anything, or Bajoran influenced anyway, since that was his upbringing and his most of his experience. Although he's now starting to broaden his horizons.
All right. I'll just leave this as an open offer. If at any point you do a Bajoran limerick or a Bajoran haiku, I may award momentum for it. Just gonna offer that for the future. All right, and then Rendak, what do you got going on?
Well, rarely do we come out of an anomaly unscathed, so he's probably going through the systems, making sure everything is how he needs it to be, make sure everything is set the way he wants it.
Okay. So, as you all are going about your various tasks, some of you I have sent a special note to. It is at this special moment that your special note applies. How you deal with that special note is up to you. I'm just giving everybody a chance to read their special notes and see what they have to do. And no, Corin, you don't have a note. I'm sorry.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I should say anything or if
No,
sir.
I deliberately left the captain out because I was like, nah, I don't want to give the captain anything too special. Don't worry, you'll get your fun.
Minetti comes back from deck 9 and he's just sneezing all over the place.
Now, when you say come back, are you talking onto the bridge? Are we talking into sick bay?
Onto the bridge. He's like, his eyes are all red and swollen and he's just sneezing.
Is there a problem, Lieutenant?
It seems that one of the crew has been keeping an Andorian Bobcat somewhere on deck 9, and it is loose. Tracking down Bobcats is not exactly my expertise, though.
I'm not sure those are on the approved pet list for this ship.
I believe they are illegal, sir.
I'm going to have to talk with the chief of security. Well, first about finding and containing the Andorian Bobcat. And then about how exactly it got onto the ship and has apparently been staying here.
I think she's an NPC. Yeah, she's the NPC. So Lieutenant Commander Sates, standing at Tactical, says, well, sir, I don't want to be the one to remind you of this, but I feel it prudent. Andorian Bobcats are impervious to sensors. They are quite literally sensor ghosts.
Well, then it seems we'll need to seal off Deck 9 and search this thing out the old-fashioned way.
Are you suggesting that we put out bowls of milk and saying pss, 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 because if we pss, 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 it does not work?
I have to admit, I never had a pet growing up. I don't know much about felines. No offense, Commander.
No, none taken, none taken. You get used to the cat puns and the cat jabs after a while in Starfleet. I guess I'll go do that now, unless you have anything else for me, sir?
Right now, the bridge seems... I almost hesitate to call it quiet, but seems as good a time as any.
Right, well, if you need me, I'll be on deck 9. And Sates goes over to the weapons locker on the bridge, pulls out a little net that is about the size of a bobcat, and heads in a turbolift down to deck 9.
After the turbolift door closes, you'll look at Minetti. Did that net seem oddly specifically sized to you?
I mean, I'm no expert in nets, but it seemed like a bit too much of a coincidence.
Prefer not to have unexpected wildlife running loose on the ship.
Once we can narrow down whose pet this is, I'm sure we'll be able to tamp down on this illegal animal trafficking.
Captain, Lieutenant Grog here. May I have a moment of your time, please?
Certainly, Doctor. Should I meet you in sickbay?
Either here or in your ready room, as you wish. Just let me know.
I'll be down momentarily.
Very good.
And Captain Corin will turn over the con to the first officer and head down to sickbay.
Minetti will follow for some allergy meds.
All right.
Captain, I think you would understand. I had something happen very recently. I was visited by the prophets last night.
Well, that's a very special experience.
It was a very special experience. But what concerns me is I saw the Babylon opening a rift into fluidic space, and something came out of it. Species 8472 rushed out, and there was a war that started with the Federation. The vision was so clear, and the prophets were there, but it was unclear to me whether this is to come, or is happening now, or has just happened.
Well, I certainly haven't ordered any rifts into fluidic space or anywhere else opened. I don't suppose your vision included any...
We've just closed this white hole. Perhaps there's something to do with that, and it was definitely the prophets, sir.
I see. I don't suppose you had any inkling as to why we were doing this?
I was given no guidance that way.
All right. Mr. Minetti, when you're feeling a bit less under the weather, if you would take a look at our... what's the word I'm looking for? Our containment system for the white hole. Look for anything reminiscent of the fluidic space signatures from species 8472. I'm sure all of Voyager's logs are available to us.
I'll see what I can check out.
Doctor, would you like to assist him in the science lab with this?
If you wish, sir, certainly I will.
You'd have the best chance at spotting whatever it is we might be looking for if it is indeed something that we have already done. In the meantime, I'll have Ops maintain a active sensor sweep of our close region. Make sure there's nothing surprising waiting for us.
And Chad just redeemed a complication, so I'm going to say, and Rendak, you can decide how you want to bring this up to the captain, but I'm going to say that complication is, Rendak, you're noticing that, well, your engineering crew got the wrong shift roster because you're having Delta shifts show up for Alpha shift, Beta shift is showing up during Gamma. Gamma is nowhere to be seen at all. It's just pandemonium in engineering right now.
I think he'll tap his comm badge. Captain,
Yes, Mr. Rendak.
something has occurred with our shift coordination. Repairs are going to take a little longer than normal. I'm sorry. I'm going to be a little preoccupied trying to organize everything and make sure things get taken care of. So if you need me, just let me know.
What's going on in engineering that's causing a problem?
Our shifts are all wonky. People are showing up for the wrong times. I've got to get it all cleaned up and figure it out. I don't know what happened. It's driving me nuts. You'd think some of these humans could just be on time.
That seems like a very unusual situation. Get everything straightened out. Keep me apprised if you find any clues as to what's happened here.
Oh, there's something going on?
We just seem to have a number of unusual annoyances cropping up that, I don't know, something feels off.
I mean, we just got done with anomaly. It makes sense. It's the same thing, different anomaly. I'll try to squash any bugs I find.
There's no run a sensor scan for Q in the area, really.
No, unfortunately, there is no scan for Q. I mean, you could call out for Q and he might answer, but do you really want him to show
Please
up?
no. Please no.
I don't know. Godly visions, random animals running around, shifts going all wonky. There's definitely something trickstery going on.
Well, maybe it's Trelane. You never know. Trelane's, something. He's not a Q, but he's Trelane, so, Or, God, what are they? The Organians? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
The list goes on.
Yeah, there's an unfortunate number of easily bored omnipotent beings. But unless there is something else to grab the captain's attention, I think he'll head back up to the bridge and maybe start poring over some sensor logs himself just to see if there's anything that stands out as, this is weird.
All right, let's make it a roll since it's been a hot minute and you could use some momentum. Would you be looking at science sensor logs, engineering sensor logs, or security sensor logs? Or, I guess even technically, the local area navigation sensor logs?
I think security sensor logs.
Okay. In that case,
that would be
it will be...
first.
Let's do a reason security for your part. And then the Babylon will assist you with a sensor security. Your difficulty on this will be a 1.
Okay. Would a spatial anomalies focus apply here?
It most definitely would.
All right.
And a reminder to whomever is rolling the ship, since the ship has advanced sensor suites, you get to roll 2d20 for the ship with a focus.
I got it.
All right, well, there's already 2, so that's a total of 4, which means you get 3 momentum to play with. Well done. So, Captain, you're looking over the sensor logs. You know, you're looking for anything that is out of the norm, out of the ordinary, or at least ordinary for the Babylon. And the only thing that stands out is that when you were recontaining that particle fountain, the white hole, when you were recontaining it and making it safe to move, you noticed that there was a slight variation in the shield array. Nothing major, just enough to be noted by the sensor logs, but not enough to trigger like, oh, you know, there's something wrong with the shields, if you get my meaning.
Just a variation in the shield array. I suppose the first thing I would do at that point is check with engineering. Let's contact Mr. Rendak.
Yes.
I understand you're busy down there, but
A little bit.
looks like there was an unusual variance in our shield system while we were finishing up containing the particle fountain. I was wondering if you could investigate that a bit. Is there any explanation for that sudden shift?
That's a good question. Let me head down to the shield generation area, kind of near the deflector dish, and see what I can find.
Appreciate it.
No problem. I'll let you know what I see.
All right. Before we do that, let's get over to Minetti and our good Klingon doctor. So, the two of you are in Science Lab 1 or 2, unless you really want to be in the same science lab as the particle fountain. But how are you guys going about checking over sensor logs, data, that sort of thing? Like, tell me a little bit about your process so I know what to throw at you.
Minetti would probably start by cross-referencing the current readings with previous instances of anything similar. In particular, things that were similar that also went wrong.
Okay. And what would Grok be looking for from their perspective? Would they be looking from anything from like a medical perspective, or would they simply just be assisting Minetti with Undine-related matters?
Yes, I think Grok would be trying to find confirmation of that it was 8472. He saw them, but he has no personal experience with species 8472. So he'd be trying to combine that understanding and knowledge from what he saw to what they have experience with. That makes sense? Am I clear enough on that?
All right. So what we'll do then is I'll let you all figure out who's assisting whom, but I believe that Minetti, you're going to be rolling a reason and science for your part. If Grok's role, because it could be an assist or the main role, Grok is going to be doing a reason medicine, and the overall difficulty on this is a 3. Now, if you want the Babylon's help, you got to give me 1 momentum, but you could technically get the Babylon to assist you here.
So my reason science is 15.
I'm 12 or 13 if I do reason medicine.
Okay, I can do the main role, I guess.
Then I will do the support. Does my xenobiology focus help?
It does.
It does.
All right. Dang, only 1 success. We
Yes.
both almost got complications.
Yeah, you came pretty dang close there. So your option is you can either simply fail the roll, or you could spend a momentum and hope that the Babylon crits.
I mean, we can't win all the time. I'm fine with failing the roll if you are, Grok.
I think it might be the best bet in this case.
Yeah, we might just be a little bit outside of our depth.
I'm looking at, well, you know what? Could I use my determination on this?
You could. The only problem, though, is because it's happening after the roll, you would only be able to re-roll your assist die, unfortunately. You wouldn't be able to turn it into a 2 success, because that has to happen before the roll.
Okay, then I guess, sorry, this was a difficulty 2 or difficulty 3?
3.
3, yeah, so we wouldn't get it even if I did. All right, doesn't make much sense. Forget that then.
Yeah, you'd have to crit.
All right. So it sounds like you just simply fail. So I'm going to paint the picture as you two go down to Science Lab, whatever, and you're looking over the computers, you're looking over logs from Voyager, just trying to understand the Undine and 8472 and how they're related to this whole situation. And the simple fact of the matter is there's just a lot of data out there. Like, for example, there's information about how 8472 fought the Borg and how Voyager helped the Borg fight 8472. And then, the whole kerfluffle where Janeway was Janeway. And then they discovered some sympathetic, 8472. It's a mess. There's just so much Janewayisms and so much raw data that this is simply just going to take time at this point. So the quick answer is you're researching, and you just haven't come up with anything conclusive yet. But while that's going on, let's head back to Rendak checking out the shield grid. Rendak, if you could give me a difficulty 3 reason engineering, the Babylon will assist you with a structure engineering. And because the white hole is in effect, I am going to say that the complication range for anything related to deflectors or anything related to shields, that is going to be at an increased complication range of 2. So it'd be 18 to 20.
Since I'm doing diagnostics, could I use that focus?
You could.
Okay. What's the difficulty again?
It's a difficulty of 2.
Okay, then I'm not going to spend it. Let me see here. What else? Oh, well, I could also use I know my.
Sorry.
I could also use I know my ship. When you attempt to task determine the source of a technical problem with your ship, the first D20 you purchase is free. So.
Yep. So you could roll 3d20.
All right. Complication range is 18 to 20.
Yep.
Does the ship's experimental/modular deflector dish trait play any role here?
Oh, I forgot about that trait. So I'm going to say that will not nullify it, but it's definitely experimental. So let's say you have a choice. You can either have a 17 to 20 complication range, or it can be at a reduced in fact, let's combine the two. It'll be a difficulty of 1, but it's a 17 to 20 complication range.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. And someone will roll for the Babylon, please.
Well, there's already a complication, but you did succeed at least.
Single die for the assist?
Yep, structure engineering. Okay, so that is 3 successes, meaning you get 2 momentum, bringing you up to 5, but there is a complication. So Rendak, as you're looking at the shield array, as you're trying to figure out what this variation was, as far as the logs down here say, there was no variation. It's like you're chasing sensor ghosts. But the complication's going to be that as you are sitting near the deflector control, what you notice is that the deflector control is taking a lot of juice at the moment. And it might be easier to turn it off if you're worried about it messing with sensor scans, but such as it is, how do I want to say this? There's a trait in play that makes any future sensor scans, as long as the deflector is active, it increases in complication range by 2.
Well, I'll tap my common report and be like, well, I can't really trace the fluctuation shields. The deflector's pulling a little extra juice, but that could just be we are traveling through space and it has to stay on. But I will try. I need to look at that and kind of mess with it if you'll give me some time, and then I'll try to report back when I can.
All right. But I do want to figure out what was going on with the shield at that particular time.
Well, as far as the logs go, and as far as what I can tell from the equipment, nothing. Like everything is working as it's supposed to. So I really don't know. Like I said, maybe the deflector is pulling a little more juice because we've encountered some extra debris in space. It's also experimental. And maybe that caused a fluctuation in the shield. That could be the problem, but I'll keep looking into it.
All right, keep me posted. The captain has an idea, but I'm not sure how to try and track it down.
Mm-hmm.
Could something have effectively beamed onto our ship or somehow transported onto our ship from the white hole while we were in the process of trying to contain it? Since it produces matter, just, spews out stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is an interesting question. Let me see. How do we translate this to a roll? Well, I definitely think that this is either going to be a sensor science or a sensor security from the Babylon. Just remember of the increased complication range. Alternatively, without the complication range and without the advanced sensor suites, you could simply do a computers in science. That might be the safer bet if you didn't want to bet on potential complications. But I am going to say that the main role is, again, a reason science or reason security, but it is a difficulty of 4.
My reason security is a little bit higher. Difficulty of 4. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Spatial anomaly still relevant?
It is.
I am going to, if I can, invoke the value exploration is a sacred undertaking.
Mm-hmm.
Does this count as exploration?
In a sense,
and
yeah.
Spend that determination.
Make sure to note which
especially
value.
Since we have potentially a vision from the prophets in play.
Okay. And yeah, make sure to note that value.
And so I don't actually roll that additional die, correct?
In the roller, you just check that you're using determination value and it'll handle it for you.
Right. Complication range, what was that again?
Well, it depends. Are you using the computers or are you using the sensors?
I think computers would be the safer option, since we've just been told that the sensors are maybe a little unreliable.
Okay, well then, standard complication range of 20.
Okay, and
all right, so there's 2, and then the Babylon needs to get a crit here for you to succeed.
You can do it, ship.
Rendek, do you have it, or does somebody else have it?
Oh, I can. What am I rolling?
Sorry. Computers and engineering, or computers and science.
Okay. And does this one get a focus?
It does, yeah. The ship always has a
focus. Oh, yeah, because ship always. Does it get the complication range too?
So it is currently at a 20 because of the computers over the sensors.
Okay.
Okay. Captain, I can offer you a success with a complication because you're sitting at 3 and you needed 4.
Okay. That sounds reasonable.
All right. So you can confirm that the white hole was involved and that there does appear signs that someone or something did beam aboard the Babylon while the white hole was being contained. Now, was the white hole simply an avenue for the, I don't even know what to call them, the interloper, we'll say. The interloper to come aboard? Was the interloper merely lying in wait within the other side of the white hole to come into your universe? You know, there's a lot of different theories about whether or not the white hole was just simply coincidental. But the long and short of it is, you have something or someone on your ship that shouldn't be there. But the complication is going to be that you have zero idea what form that could be. For all you know, you could have a glowing ball in Holodeck 3. You could have, you could have a helicopter in the shuttle bay. I mean, take your pick. If you're a fan of SCP, pick your favorite SCP, and it could be anywhere on the ship right now.
Or I could have an unaccounted for Andorian bobcat roaming Deck 9.
That is also valid.
Maybe unimaginative, but it seems like this may be related. So the captain is going to head to Deck 9, armed with a phaser set to stun and a trusty tricorder.
Okay.
And see if I can find the security teams and see what progress they've made.
So when you go to Deck 9 and you are looking for security teams, they are, I don't want to say yakety-saxing it, but there are some comical moments where you just see them run one way, and then they shout and they run another way. And then we see a bobcat that's blue and has little Andorian antennas run past. And then it's like Scooby-Dooing where they're going out of different doors and Jeffrey's tubes. It's just a mess.
I wanted this command. I wanted this command more than anything. Okay. Commander Sates?
Yes, little busy. No, it's over there. Went into that door there. That door. No, that door. How does it keep getting behind us?
And it's immune to sensor, so it's not going to show up.
No, unfortunately, an Andorian bobcat is now canonically immune to sensors.
Son of a...
Unfortunately, we do have one way to detect it. Although it's not exactly
Manetti!
pleasant.
The harder he sneezes, the closer it is. Push him in the hallway.
Jesus.
Well, the important thing is it hasn't gotten off Deck 9 yet.
Well, sir, you're happy to. I'm happy if you want to help us, but as you can tell, I have 10 of my best security personnel on this, including myself, and we just can't get this thing to sit still. It's more squirrely than Shaka when the walls fell, if you get my meaning.
I don't, but that's okay.
But you really should brush up on your Temerian. They have wonderful metaphors.
Have you tried wide beam stun?
Well, I mean, we'd have to get a good shot on it first. The thing's like super fast. I mean, it's an Andorian bobcat. It's meant to compete with ice skating things on Andoria.
On Andoria. Computer, raise the temperature on Deck 9 by 10 degrees centigrade.
The computer chirps, and because I find it funny, I'm actually going to spend 2 threat to say that instead of it being solely on Deck 9, the entire ship increases by 10C.
Commander Sates, I want it noted officially that I did specify Deck 9. And this is one more thing on Commander Rendak's list of things to investigate.
And she kind of wipes her brow and goes, well, I guess it won't be running around as fast now. You take that, Jeffrey Stube. I'll take this one.
Sounds like a good idea.
All right. Meanwhile, down in the science lab with Grok and Minetti, it's gotten very hot, and you don't know why. Oh, and I just got a redemption from chat. I'm going to turn that chat redemption into threat. Thank you for the threat.
Sorry, I think my audio just cut out. I caught you about halfway through that sentence.
Oh, all I said is that you and Grok are still in the science lab researching, and for some reason it has gotten 10 centigrade hotter.
Normally, paperwork doesn't make me sweat this much. He'll like look over at an instrumentation panel to confirm that like someone raised the temperature in the ship and that the ship isn't just like acting up on its own.
Well, yeah, you see a record that the captain ordered life support to increase by 10C ship-wide.
He'll comm badge over to the captain. Captain, not that I'm opposed to community sweat lodges, but I prefer not to have them in my lab.
I apologize, Commander. I intended for that temperature increase to be limited to Deck 9, but I'm led to understand that the entire ship has been affected. We're trying to sweat the Andorian Bobcat out. That is, assuming it is actually an Andorian Bobcat, which is contrary to my original theory. I may have not thought all of this through.
In the meantime, I will begin to compensate for the experiment.
Have you detected anything unusual about the white hole beyond the fact that it does appear that something arrived on the ship as we were containing it? It looks like a transport beam or something equivalent.
Unfortunately, that's about where we're at the moment, sir. There's just an absolute mountain of data on similar instances, and cross-referencing it all is becoming a bit of a monumentous task.
Minetti, I'm spending 2 threat. You start sneezing.
Achoo. He looks at the doctor.
It's here.
The meds aren't supposed to wear off that quick.
No, they're not. All right, get over here.
Captain, I think we have a problem in the science lab.
You think we might have more of those things? Or did it escape Deck 9? I realize you have no way of knowing. Sorry.
Minetti's eyes are like swelling up.
I'm going to use my tricorder to scan and see if there's something else what is he reacting to before I just toss him an antihistamine.
Okay. Valid thing. Give me a reason medicine difficulty of 1. And I don't know that trauma surgery or emergency medicine would apply here, unfortunately.
It is pretty traumatic to Minetti.
I'll throw in 1 threat to get an extra die if I might.
Sure, for bold medicine.
How about xenobiology? I'm a Klingon. He's not. No, he's a human, so I guess that doesn't count. All right. And it's regular complication, right?
Yep, same as stays at a 20. Well, good news. You get a momentum, so you're at your cap of 6. Oh, wait, you have bold medicine. Go ahead and reroll that 20. Okay, so you're now at 6 momentum with 1 floating that will go away unless you use it immediately for something. So, Grok, as you scan Minetti, what you're seeing is that it's not so much that the Andorian Bobcat has escaped Deck 9 and is super close to the science lab. It's that somebody has introduced into the life support subroutine specifically tied to Minetti's comm badge to disperse pheromones that would trigger an allergic response.
That's bioterrorism.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll immediately bring it to the captain's attention. This is targeted Minetti specifically. Is there anyone else on the ship who would also be affected, or this is just going to affect Minetti?
It is just Minetti at the moment. Like, you do a quick scan of the subroutines of life support, and as far as you can tell, Minetti is the only one that has been targeted.
Who on the ship would have the knowledge of our systems to make that kind of modification?
Just everybody looks at each other.
Minetti, you don't have any enemies that are 8472, do you?
I mean, I would hope not. Can't say that I've ever encountered one.
To Commander Rendak. Engineering, have we had anyone modifying the environmental systems in the last few minutes?
And
Rendak.
because I find it funny, I'm going to cut Drew off and spend 2 threat that you don't get Rendak. You instead get one of their underlings. And she says, I'm sorry, sir. Rendak stepped out for the moment. They're in the little Ferengi's room. Can I take a message?
I was just inquiring as to whether anyone has been modifying the environmental systems in the last several minutes.
Besides
Other
you,
than
sir,
myself
no.
increasing the temperature.
I mean, no. Besides you, sir, no. Nobody's messed with it.
Well, there has been some alteration made to plague our science officer with allergens. Can you add this to Commander Rendak's list of things to investigate?
I can certainly do so, sir, but he said he probably was going to be about 10 minutes because apparently his Ferengi digestive system does not agree with Klingon Gah.
Ensign, you have no idea how long I could have lived without knowing that.
Listen, sir, I mean this with all due respect. Rendak made it very clear that I was to repeat the message verbatim.
Understood. Captain out. This is beginning to feel entirely too much like a series of unfunny pranks. But nothing in Captain Janeway's log suggests species 8472 has a sense of humor.
May I, would I know these pheromones, would these be accessible, readily accessible, or would these be something that would have to be brought on from off board? Or
Well,
some
that
other sort?
sounds like something you could use your floating momentum to ask that question.
I think I just did.
Okay. So, the answer to that is that these pheromones are, and at least Minetti, as far as I've understood your cat allergy, any cat would do. Doesn't have to be Andorian Bobcat. Could be a domestic short hair, long hair. Any cat with hair, dandruff, oil, the whole 9 yards. It's a very common thing for life support to make. But the key here is that it is specifically targeting Minetti, and it's not like dispersing these pheromones elsewhere on the ship. Though, you know what? That's actually a good idea. I'm going to spend 2 threat. That,
Oh, no.
Grok, you get a comm from sickbay, and they say, sickbay to Lieutenant Commander Grok, are you there, sir?
Here, go ahead.
Well, sir, I thought you might want to know that apparently every single cat on board, not just the Andorian bobcat problem, but every single cat has entered into heat. And we have cats yowling down here in sickbay because apparently we're a vet service now.
All right, I'm on my way. I'll head down to sick bay, and we'll have to set up something.
And when you get to sickbay, there are yowling cats everywhere.
Now, with my xenobiology focus, do I have any understanding or knowledge of something that might help to suppress this or help these cats back off a little bit?
Yes. Without any roll required because you're at 6 momentum, it's very easy. If you can suppress a Vulcan's Punfar, you can suppress a domestic shorthair's need to mate. I think that's in your wheelhouse. The question, though, is can you get the cat to not scratch you and or attack you while you're hypo-spraying it, is the question.
Isn't that what nurses are for?
Damn.
All right, well, just because I find it funny, why don't you give me a presence and medicine at a difficulty of 2 to convince your nurses that they will be the ones holding the frantic cats. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, it's right.
Oh no. So
They're just like, well, my shift just ended. Bye.
I mean, that's some nurse does that, yeah, but basically what happens is I don't know if anybody's ever dealt with a cat that does not want to be somewhere. Every time a nurse goes to pick up a cat, the cat decides, no, you are not touching me. And there's a lot of hissing, there's a lot of scratching, there's a lot of biting, and you're just having a fun old time in sickbay right now. Just a fun old time.
You're gonna need to replicate the forbidden panini press.
Oh yeah, the one they
The little
use
thing
for
you catch cats with, yeah.
Yeah, the ones they use for vaccinating the feral cats. Yeah, I know the kind.
Yep.
For anybody who doesn't know, it's literally a cage where one side is meant to be pressed against the cat so it can't move. And you would think that they're hurting the cat with how hard they press, but the cat's fine.
As cats are mostly liquid.
Of course, yeah, they're the third state of matter.
Yes.
But while Grok is dealing with bad fur day and Minetti is being bioterrorist, let's go back to Rendak for a moment because he's been kind of quiet this session, not through his own means. I've kind of been mean and spent threat. But Rendak, you've returned from the little Ferengi's room after you've dealt with the Ga. You have a pile of requests coming up. You have bioterrorism, you have sensor logs that are out of whack, you have a shield array problem that still needs to be looked at, and, life support that the captain just decided to do across the ship for some reason.
I mean, it's humid like Ferengi are now, so I'm cool with it. But okay. Well, he's a little grumpy because it's a lot to deal with, and he feels like he doesn't have time to deal with all this right now. So he is going to tap his comm badge and kind of check in with the crew and be like, you guys busy? I kind of got a big list.
And I think the captain is indisposed, Minetti is indisposed, Grok is indisposed. So you get a few of your engineers on the horn. They're like, well, sir, it depends on what you need. I'm chasing down sensor ghosts on deck 9.
You should keep doing that. Yep, I know we're a little short-handed today, guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah, why
just,
is Gamma
guys,
Shift here?
That's a great question. I wish I knew. You should just continue what you're doing and do your best to go through that list.
Okay, sir. Do you want it with or without buffer time?
Uh, well, you know the rules. Stretch the truth a little bit.
Yes. Rule of acquisition number 152. Time is latinum, and latinum is forever.
Sure it is. Yeah. Anywho, you guys get to work on that. And if you need me, just let me know.
All right, sir. We'll do that. So your underlings have been tasked with doing your job. Congratulations, you've learned the art of delegation. I'm sure there's a rule of acquisition for that. But yeah, let's go back around. I think the captain, are you still hunting the bobcat?
I think I am going to step away from that since I don't seem to be adding much to the effort.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea has occurred to me that species 8472 are shapeshifters.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is some way that has been noted in previous encounters of forcing 8742, of forcing the species whose designation I can't remember, back into their natural form, I think I would like to start trying to research that.
Okay. Well, Captain, that sounds like a reason medicine assisted by the ship's computer's medicine. I have 5 threat, so I'm just going to spend 3 of it, which might trigger some abilities for some people. But I'm going to spend 3 of it to make your complication range a 17 to 20.
Okay. Well, first thing I am going to... You said reason plus medicine?
Reason plus medicine. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that is all of a 10 for me. Everyone else is busy, so this should be interesting.
I mean, it also helps that the Babylon has a computer's medicine of 11, so it's not much better.
I am going to... Let's see. I don't think I have any focus that would apply.
Let me take a look at your sheet, but I'm willing to bet. No, not in, like, I thought maybe diplomacy or regulations, but no, not in this instance, unfortunately. And even if you did, like, your medicine's a 1, so you'd have to roll a 1 anyway.
That's true. You said the complication range is 17?
Yep. And that applies to the ship as well.
I am going to buy 2 dice.
With momentum?
One first with momentum and the second with threat.
Okay, so that's 1 momentum, 2 threat.
And...
Ooh.
Dang!
Mother of God.
Oh, God.
Dang!
I got cocky and I deeply regret it.
Okay, well, hold on. The ship could possibly make this worse if somebody wants to roll the ship.
Yeah.
Computers and
What do I need
medicine.
to roll?
17 to 20.
Okay.
That's a Peter win the dice fell moment right there.
17 to 20. Focus.
Okay, well, you got your 2 successes. So... Okay, I think I know what 2 of the complications are going to be. I'm just debating... Because I said it was, what, a difficulty of 3? I can offer you success with 4 total complications.
Well, we're going to take 3 of them regardless, correct?
Yes.
Why not add the 4th?
Okay.
Yeah! Yes!
So the first thing is that you note that the computer is very slow in looking up information. And I don't mean in it takes a few extra seconds. I mean, like, and this is going to date me. Remember back in the good old days of Windows 95 where, you turned on your computer and you waited for like 2 or 3 minutes for it to boot, and then you tried to get an Internet Explorer and you had to dial up the modem, and it was a whole thing, and then it probably took 20 minutes to get online, kind of a thing. That's how slow the computer's being right now. And that's complication number 1. Complication number 2 is that you note that someone, and the computer isn't able to tell you who, someone has co-opted the saucer separation codes for the next 24 hours, meaning that someone, whoever this is, could potentially cause the saucer section of the Babylon to separate. And I should warn you that the saucer separation of a sovereign class is not like a galaxy's. It's not nearly as fun. That's complication number 2. Complication number 3 is I get 2 threat. And complication number 4 is that now the computers are permanently at a 17 to 20 complication range until I say otherwise. But you do have good news. There is a compound that you could inject into life support if you wanted to pump it ship wide. The only problem is that, it would knock out half the crew in the process. But it would cause any 8472 to revert to their natural form, so, checks and balances.
Yeah, we're not sure enough of that to knock out half the crew on that particular whim. As the number of complications, and I realize that's an out-of-character designation, kind of pile up, the captain sort of reaches a point of, you know what, even if this looks silly, okay, I get it. You have control of my ship. You can do whatever you want. If you're done having fun, is there something you want? Whoever you are.
Now, are you saying this in the middle of a corridor, on the bridge? Where is it that you're making this declaration?
Possibly in the turbo lift as he's approaching the bridge.
Okay. You make your declaration. The turbo lift keeps going. And then the turbo lift stops between floors. And that's it. The turbo lift just stops between floors. Like, you try to get it going again. Nope, it's not moving. Oh, and even for more fun, I'm going to spend that 2 threat that I just took. You're in between the saucer section and the secondary hull. So if the saucer section separates right now, you're going to be out in the middle of space. Have fun with that.
Prophets, keep me sane. Preferably guide me to wisdom, but if nothing else, please keep me sane.
The prophets do not answer.
They have no jurisdiction here, apparently. Your sense of comedic timing is impressive if unappreciated. Whoever you are.
The interloper, if they are listening, does not reply.
Can I get the turbolift to take me back down, let's say to deck 9?
Well, like I said, you've tried the manual override a few times, and manual override just isn't working. Somebody has deliberately given you a faulty turbolift pod. Because they're like little pods, or like, as we see in a few of other, what is it? Is it JJ Trek that they're the actual like balls that roll kind of a thing? I forget. But turbolifts are basically pods that are just, pneumatically just going throughout the ship. So somebody has given you a sabotage pod at the end of the day.
I will hit my comm badge. Captain to Transporter Room 1.
And somebody does answer, but it's not who you may expect.
What can I do for you, Captain?
Mr. Rendak?
Indeed, Captain Corin. How's your pod doing? I'm just curious. Are you enjoying it?
I am not. I'm not
Well,
enjoying much about today.
I didn't suspect you would. I just want you to know I'm on my way to your battle bridge, where I'm going to take your saucer section. And I'm going to invite the Undine here. And they're going to blow your ship up. And it's going to start a glorious war with the Federation.
I see. And you're doing this because...
Because I want the Undine and the Federation to both be destroyed.
I see. That doesn't sound particularly profitable.
I don't care about profit, you fool.
Well,
I'm
now
no
I know you're not
Ferengi.
Rendak.
Though his engineering knowledge came in quite useful.
I see. May I speak to my engineer?
If you can find him.
Did you by chance turn him into a Andorian bobcat?
Why would I tell you that, Captain? Come on. Just rest tight. If I'm not mistaken, you're between your precious saucer section and drive section. Just enjoy the ride, I suppose. Pray to your prophets.
Well, the problem is, given where you've stopped this turbo lift, the saucer separation sequence simply will not engage. If you really understood the construction of this ship, you'd know that.
Damn that Ferengi.
Now, if you'd like to bring me to your location and we can try to talk this out, I'm still amenable to negotiation.
I think that silence speaks volumes.
Well, have it your way. Computer. Initiate self-destruct sequence. Authorization. Corin. 1 Alpha 0 Gamma.
And I'm just going to let it happen. Yeah. So how long is the self-destruct? 5 minutes? An hour? How long is it?
5 minutes.
5
Silent
minutes.
countdown.
So, Grok, you're not having fun in sickbay right now. I mean, you're dealing with a glorious battle of feline acumen, but the ship begins to blare an alarm. Self-destruct sequence activated. 5-minute countdown beginning now.
All right, nurses. Forget the damn cats. Who authorized this? Is it only the captain who can authorize it, or is...
Technically, the captain can do it on himself, but otherwise you need 2 ranking officers, is my understanding of the protocol.
Computer, where is the captain right now?
The captain is currently in Turbolift 3.
Captain, what's going on?
Does that communication actually reach me?
Well, I do have some threat. Nope, it doesn't. So yeah, Grok,
Captain?
you make the call and no reply.
Captain, are you there? All right. I'll grab 2 of my most fit nurses, whoever they might be. We're on our way down there to and Rendak, where are you?
Rendak does not reply either.
Sitas, where are you?
I'm on deck 9. Do you know why the captain's call to self-destruct? And yeah, I think with that, you start grabbing people who you can, but that's happening there. Minetti, you're still in Science Lab 1 or 2, maybe both at the same time. Who knows? Schrodinger Minetti. When you observe him, he's in one.
It's one of those modules with a big sliding door in the middle.
Yeah, there you go. But you get the same thing on your end, where it's like commencing countdown, self-destruct in 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Minetti's going to call up to the first officer on the bridge.
Conrad here. Do you have any idea what the captain's doing? He's activated the self-destruct, and I need a ranking officer on the bridge immediately if we're going to try and override it.
I'll head there shortly. I don't believe the captain would have called it for no reason. He has to be thinking something. Minetti's like trying to process the possibilities of why the captain would even make this decision as he's like heading to the bridge.
Well, I have 2 more threat. I mean, this threat has just been perfect tonight, so I'm going to spend my last 2 threat to say when Grok and Minetti go to try and get in a turbolift, the turbolift network is down too. Have fun with that.
Can we figure out physically where the turbo lift itself is, though?
That the captain's in?
Yes.
Yeah, you can use your sensors, you can use the computer to tell where he is.
Okay, so we need a security team. We need it here now.
We need a transporter room.
Yeah.
So Minetti's going to start heading in the direction of the nearest transporter room and flag down any security officers that he runs into on the way.
Okay. So you do grab Sates and a few of her officers as you get to transporter room 4. And hey, look at that. The transporters are actually working.
Minetti's going to comm to the captain, even though he's not sure if the comms are working. He's just going to say, just hold tight, Captain. We're going to get you out.
All right, Minetti, because this could be funny and dramatic, mostly the funny to me, could you give me a control engineering assisted by the ship's sensors engineering at a difficulty of 3? Now remember, because the deflector dish is currently operational and apparently there's somebody been messing with it, this is at a complication range of 17 to 20 on both you and the ship.
I got the ship.
So, Minetti's read a lot of technical manuals on this particular model of transporter just out of nerdiness.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to spend a momentum and use did the reading to exchange engineering for science.
Okay. I will also point out that you have technical expertise, which means you can re-roll 1d20 in either your pool or the ship's pool.
Okay. And so it was that control science, or control engineering to begin with?
Yes, control engineering. So for you, it's control science.
Okay.
And the ship is sensor engineering, right?
Correct. And because of advanced sensor suite, it's rolling 2.
Yep. Got that. And the focus and the 17 to 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I believe.
Should I use momentum for more dice?
Yes.
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 Remind me of the costs again.
One
what it would be to
momentum
get to
gets
3
you
and
3
4?
dice. If you want 4 dice, you would have to give me 3 momentum.
Oh, that's pricey.
Do it.
Okay.
Five successes. 6 successes, meaning you get 3 momentum right back. Well done. So, Captain, you're dealing with the fallout of the fact that you just called self-destruct when all of a sudden you beam away into Transporter Room 4, where you have some very angry officers pointing phasers at you, including Sates and Minetti.
Oh, thank the prophets. Something has taken over Commander Rendak. He is on his way or has already arrived at the battle bridge. He intends to separate the ship, and then he's going to try to open up that rift to fluidic space in some bizarre attempt to start a war between the Federation and the Undine.
Minetti will send out a general order to full security lock down all of the science labs. Because his first thought is that whoever the imposter is might try to use one of the experiments to cause that rip in fluidic space.
Well, chat did give me a threat redeem, so I'm going to immediately spend that threat redeem to say that the security teams check in on the white hole. The white hole is gone. It is no longer in containment.
Seems our friend's a few steps ahead of us, Captain.
In fact, I have even worse news for you. That white hole is in a torpedo that is currently being loaded into the torpedo launcher.
Sates, you and your team. Well, Minetti, you may as well come too. Someone has to operate the transporter beam, but someone beam us to that location. The torpedo tube, I should clarify.
All right. Very important role. Very important role. This is another, if Minetti's doing it, it's another control engineering. It's difficulty of 3 because you're going from a pad to not a pad. The ship is assisting with sensors and engineering. And it is a difficulty, all right, it's a difficulty 3. It is a complication of 17 to 20.
I mean, I'm not sure what the doctor's engineering's at, but using did the reading might be my best chance at getting us there.
I mean, Grok has an engineering of 2. Grok could do it.
I'm sorry, am I there at this moment? I was under the impression that I was more aware of the physical location of the... I was thinking we were going to have to somehow get on board physically, rather than him transporting out.
So maybe then, Grok, you are at the physical location of where the captain used to be? So
Yes, next to the turbo lift, exactly.
Right, so I don't think Grok can help here. So yeah, I think Minetti, it's either you're sending the security team and the captain, or you are having Sates beam you and the captain and a few security officers. It's your call.
Well, it's the captain's call.
Well, true, true.
I mean, I don't want to leave another player behind, but I feel like we should bring the chief of security to what's clearly a security matter.
Well, I'll offer you a deal. You have 4 momentum right now. And with 4 momentum, you could spend 2 of it to say that the ship is the only one rolling. So you could roll 3d20 for the ship, and the ship has a focus. But you would have to spend 2 momentum for the ship to do it.
And what's our difficulty?
It's a difficulty of 3.
3 on 3 is difficult.
13 or lower. Critting on a 3 or lower. It's possible.
What do you think? You chance it?
I mean, it's theoretically possible. I mean, I also will have to spend a lot of momentum to do my side of things as well. 'Cause I already used it once in this scene, so it would bump up to 2 momentum costs to use did the reading.
Gotcha. Well, in that case, I suppose the captain could attempt to just operate the transporter.
Yep, you
and
could
send Minetti and the security team.
Yeah, and so that you're still in the scene, we can have you take over Sates if you'd like.
What would be the role for the captain
It is
operating that
a
again?
control engineering for the captain.
That still sucks. That's not going to help me at all. Uh, there's nothing I can give a rousing speech to that will help here.
Well, as the self-destruct timer chimes 2 minutes until self-destruct, the doors open to transporter room 4, and in, still half hogtied, is Rendak.
Minetti will free him.
God, freaking on my head. What the hell's going on? Why are we in self-destruct?
I spoke to you a few moments ago, or someone pretending to be you.
Well, you sure as hell didn't speak to me. What's going on with my ship? Jesus, you're blowing it up. First nacelles, now self-destruct. God. What's going on? What do you need?
Computer, locate Lieutenant Commander Rendak.
Rendak is currently in transporter room 4.
Who is currently in the torpedo control bay?
There is no one in the torpedo control bay.
Shut off life support to torpedo control bay.
I don't have any threats, so yeah, that happens.
Mr. Rendak, I realize you've been through a lot. I'm going to need you to trust me for just a few more moments. I need you to access torpedo control from here and shut down any attempts to fire.
Sure, I can try that.
All right. The real Rendak. If you could give me a daring in engineering.
Okay.
Would this be daring security? No, I'll be nice and say it's daring engineering. Daring
Don't
engineering.
do that to me.
Daring engineering difficulty of 3. Okay. And the ship could assist you with a computer security. But just remember, it is in an 18 to 20 complication range for everything involving a computer right now.
Okay. So we've got difficulty 3, 18 to 20.
Got 4 momentum.
If I don't use the ship, I don't get the complication, right?
If you use just Rendak, then yes, you do not invoke the 18 to 20 complication.
Thoughts, ladies and gents?
You could replace the ship's die with 1 for momentum.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of using 3 momentum and getting 2 more die, and rolling 4 because if I roll under 14, Rendak succeeds.
Okay.
You want to do that?
I think so.
So that'll be 4 die. I don't think I have a focus from Rendak that applies because none of this really covers it.
Nah, nothing that would help, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, no guess, no glow. Oh,
get a
wait,
momentum
4
back.
successes. Neat.
There you go. Good job. So, Rendak, you are able to stop the torpedo from being fired. And because you know your damn ship, as I'd like to say it, you also lock out the manual release where there's a physical barrier that slams down, preventing the torpedo from manually being fired.
Ooh.
And not a moment too soon, because had you waited another 5 seconds, that torpedo would have gone whoop.
Computer,
be like,
stand down red alert. Or stand down auto destruct.
Please enter authorization code.
Who's trying to shoot torpedoes?
Corin, 101 Alpha.
Command code accepted. Standing down, self-destruct.
It was a bluff. I didn't expect him to call it quite that long.
Huh. Okay.
Rendak looks terribly fucking confused. He has no idea what's going on. All he knows is he woke up with a massive headache, hogtied.
Someone who's been impersonating you.
Huh.
And wreaking havoc around the ship.
Impossible, I'm too handsome.
And worst of all, they said they don't care about profit.
At best.
Now at this
But
point,
whoever it is should be running out of oxygen in the torpedo bay.
Well, real quick, I did want to say that with the restoration, or I guess cancellation of self-destruct, comms are back up and running. So Grok, if you try to reach the captain, you'll actually reach the captain this time. Just because I want to rope Grok into the scene as well.
Captain, what's with the
Doctor.
auto-destruct?
The auto-destruct has been canceled. It's a long story, but suffice it to say, someone was threatening to use the ship to open that rift you saw and start a war with the Undine.
Okay, we're at the turbo lift right now. Are you still in there?
No, I am in Transporter Room 1. Mr. Minetti and Lieutenant Sates managed to get me out of that turbo lift while it had been sabotaged.
Good work. You two nurses back with me. We've got a lot of cats to deal with. We'll be back in the sick bay, Captain, unless you need us.
Well, Doctor, someone has been impersonating Lieutenant Commander Rendak, and I believe that person is currently running out of oxygen in the torpedo control bay.
We'll head straight there then.
I think we will meet you there.
All right. So we do a cut to everybody, Sates, the four of you, security officers, the nurses, the Andorian Bobcat. I don't know why the Andorian Bobcat's there, but he's here. But all of you arrive outside of the door. All of you arrive outside of the door to the torpedo control room, and it is sealed with a force field because someone in the chain would have thought to do that.
Computer, restore life support in torpedo control bay. And is everyone ready?
I think
so. Theoretically ready.
Yeah.
Release security field.
All right. The field drops. And the moment the field drops, there is an explosion that immediately causes emergency bulkheads to slam down where the force field just was. But you do all get a glimpse momentarily as the bulkheads come slashing down that the white hole has been detonated, and you see the silhouette of a figure stepping through the rift it created before the force fields contain the explosion, and everything goes back to normal, or at least as normal as it can be, with the fact that you just detonated the torpedo control room of the Babylon.
It wasn't us this time, Rendak.
I know. What am I going to complain about?
I'm never getting another command again.
Renee's going to reach up and pat Cord on the shoulder. In your defense, we are an anomaly magnet, boss.
How much damage was done when that thing went off in the torpedo control bay?
The good news, I don't have threat, so it didn't activate a chain explosion. So you just got to rebuild the torpedo control room, because the torpedoes aren't stored there. They're brought up via a lift, as far as I'm aware. So you just have to recreate the launching mechanism, more or less.
Well, I'm afraid that's going to be a job for our intrepid engineering team.
Yeah, I could pull some extra shifts too. I've always wanted to see how a torpedo control bay works.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to need to read some logs to see what all I got to fix.
Sates just vaguely motions at everything. I think all of it, sir.
Computer, restore standard temperature throughout the ship.
And thankfully, or perhaps not thankfully depending on your demeanor, the ship's normal temperature returns.
And I will look down over at the Andorian Bobcat. And you weren't even the shapeshifter this whole time, were you?
Meow. Just meows at you.
As Benetti is like sneezing in the corner, all of a sudden you hear, I want sanctions against whoever smuggled it on here.
Rendeck ponders out loud.
I wonder if he had a goatee.
And I think that's where we'll end today's session. So no, as you have likely figured out, Rendak was the imposter today. Congratulations for playing the role very well.
Thank you.
But no, I've wanted to do an imposter thing like this for a while. It was just setting up the cards, and my job was basically whenever Drew came up with a complication was to spend threat to make it happen. So
Yes. Yeah. You should not see the chat from me to ELH. You should not see it. You'll never trust me again.
But it's just one of the beautiful things about the electronic medium. Like, had this been happening at a physical table, it would have been so hard to conceal. So hard.
So I did try to drop 2 hints. At one point, Rendeck said human instead of human, and no one picked up on it. And I was like, okay, cool, I got away with that one. And then he also, someone brought up Latinum and Prophet, and he just kind of shrugged it off, and no one noticed that either. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, but it all worked out in the end.
You're not Rendak. You would never say that.
I should have had him say nicer things to people, too. That would have been a good fit.
Rendak wouldn't try to blow up the ship.
I mean, it's true. It's his baby.
I think something's wrong with Rendak. He hasn't complained once today.
Exactly.
All right.
That was fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, twist it around because
Rendak.
we're going to raid somebody. But YouTube, we'll see you later. Bye-bye, YouTube.